Yeah, a really clever worked goal. So I don't think we can necessarily blame McAllister for that. And the second goal, yeah, it just happened to kind of fall to Isak. So I don't think we can blame Konate for that. So I think C's probably accurate for Konate. C for Van Dijk as well. Again, I'm not necessarily sure that he could have done much with either of the goals. He was good aerially. He was good. Um, Kind of generally how he was playing, some good passing. But yeah, I wouldn't put the centre backs out for kind of either goal. Robertson, if I can find him on this thing, yeah. Robertson again, see, didn't was solid, didn't do anything kind of too spectacular, but also didn't make any kind of wild howlers. He did lose the ball a little bit, but that's gonna happen. He was at least kind of trying to make things happen, so yeah, I'd probably give him a C. Gravenberch probably between C and D, if I'm honest. Um, I don't remember him doing anything. I don't remember him doing much in the game, so I'm probably gonna put him in D. He did kind of drift out wide in certain occasions. Um, but yeah, he did. I mean, I don't remember him doing anything spectacular, and he did get taken off as well. So I'd probably put him at D. McAllister, McAllister D. I don't think he did anything too spectacular. I don't think his link up play was particularly good. Um, he was at fault for the first goal, but again, if you're 5'9" and you're going up against someone who's 6'8", what can you really do? He also looks kind of out of energy. He also looks tired, so that is something else that we're going to need to keep an eye on, kind of going forward. So Bosley probably C. He was at least trying. I don't think it was his best performance that I've ever seen, but he was at least trying to kind of make things happen. So I'd probably put him in a C again for that. Now it's probably going to get worse. Diaz I'd put in D. Didn't really do much. Wasn't really look like he didn't really look like he was kind of trying all that much. I don't remember anything spectacular coming from Diaz. He did get the ball a lot, partly because we were trying to attack down the left and we were trying to attack centrally. I think it could have been because Salah had multiple defenders on him, which meant that Diaz was free a bit more. But yeah, didn't do much. Yeah, in this game he was a lot better against PSG in the last game, but in this game not so much. Jota, yeah, D. And like if there was an E, I'd put him in there, and if there was an F, I'd put him in there. Doesn't look fully fit. Doesn't look with it. Um, there was one chance where I think it fell to him in the box, and he kind of tried to karate kick it in the air instead of just trying to get it on target. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Jota, but he doesn't quite look right. And if you see the difference with Isak, when Isak had his one chance, it was bang, kind of scored instantly. Whereas, yeah, with our players, with our forwards, apart from the next guy, we don't look all that great. Um, Salah, I'd put in C. He tried to kind of make things happen. He did some good passes from the wing, some good general link-up play on the wing, but he couldn't fully get into the game. In comparison with the other two players, though, I would put him slightly higher because he was at least trying, and I think he was perhaps a bit unlucky at time. Tom N1279 is saying, who would you buy for left wing? Good question. The one that I really wanted, unfortunately, he's gone to PSG in Kvaratskhelia, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm surprised we didn't get Kvaratskhelia because from a fee perspective, he wasn't that expensive. I think it must have been wages. I think it must have been wages from a Kvaratskhelia perspective. I don't know who else is available. Like there's Rafael Leao. He's okay, um, but he doesn't look that great, and I think he goes missing sometimes in big games. Um, what I'd like to see is, because I think Diaz is probably going to go in the summer, and we should be able to get at least 70 million for him. I would rather the bulk of the money be spent on like a central striker, and then because of course in an ideal world we'll get amazing players for every position, but we know it doesn't work like that. So if we sell Diaz and we sell Nunes, I'd rather more money be spent on the central striker, who is Nunes' position, because I think Gakpo is still fine on the left wing, and Chiesa as well. I actually prefer Chiesa on the left compared to the right. So I think if Diaz goes, for me, the two left wing options would be Chiesa and Gakpo. And I think we should kind of put more money into buying a central striker. But then if Chiesa does play on the left, then we do need someone on the right. So that's something that we would need to kind of figure out. In terms of the substitutions then, my phone's just being a bit weird. In terms of the substitutions, Nunes had put in D. Didn't really kind of do much. He had one really good. I don't know if it was one opportunity or if it was kind of two opportunities, but there was one where like the ball kind of fell to Nunes's foot, right in the box. And he kind of tried to control the ball, like he tried to kind of stop the ball with his left foot. And when he tried to control the ball, because Nunes doesn't have the best first touch, when he tried to control the ball just rolled straight into Nick Pope's hands, and Nick Pope just kind of gathered it up. And if we compare that to Isak, when Isak had a split second chance, he went bang, he just kicked it in. Whereas when Nunes had a split second chance, he tried to stop it, and then the keeper just got it. So, I mean, D. And I'm going to try to find a better tier list next time that's actually got numbers on it. But like, if you gave me numbers, it'd probably be like 2 out of 10. Tom N1279 is saying, yeah, I think Chiesa hasn't been given the opportunity, which I agree with. And which makes it all the more surprising that he gave him the opportunity now, like in a cup final. I was like, you've not given this guy the opportunity the entire year, and you're giving him the opportunity in a cup final. But to be fair, it kind of paid off because he did get a goal, and it was a good finish. So yeah, I would like to see more of Chiesa going forward. I don't know why he hasn't been playing so much. I don't know what the problem is, if it's like an attitude thing, if it's a training thing, or kind of whatever it is. But yeah, I do want to see Chiesa getting more of an opportunity. But I think he looks promising. Do you think Jota will go? Do I think Jota will go? I think Diaz will definitely go, and I think Nunes will definitely go. With Jota, I think it depends. I think most likely, like if you force me to make a decision, I'd say probably yes. And I think the reason for that is, I think he's only got 2 years left on a contract, and I'd like to see the club being a bit more proactive about, if players get to the end of their contract, they sell them rather than just letting them run the contract down. So I think if we get a good offer for Jota, I think he could go. Naturally, other teams are going to be concerned about his fitness record. Naturally, other teams are going to be concerned about his injuries and so forth. But equally, he's a good finisher. He's good with both feet. He's good at heading the ball. I know he hasn't shown it recently, but I think other teams would be willing to take a risk. So I think if we get around 50 million, considering we paid around 40 million, I think if you get around 50 million, I'd consider selling. But again, it depends who you can get. It depends who you can get as a replacement. Like, if there's no one else available, you know what I mean? We might want to keep him around. But I think all things considered, all things equal, if we can get 70 million for Nunes, if we can get 70 million for Diaz, and about 50, 60 for Jota, that's 200 million at least. So I think with that in mind, we might have to consider it if that opportunity presents itself. Chiesa put in A. I don't know if that's shameless, but he got a goal. He looked, he was threatening. He was always kind of looking forward, and like you could tell, like he was trying. You know what I mean? Like he was focused. He didn't look lazy. He didn't look lethargic like half our team. Like he was trying. He was trying his best. He was trying to be aggressive. He was trying to kind of make things happen. And it kind of paid off because he did get the goal. And even though he got the goal, that was not an easy finish because he was central and like he kind of played it very, very low past Nick Pope. So Chiesa, like I know we haven't seen much of him all year, but hopefully now we start seeing a bit more of him. I think that would be pretty good. Jones. Yeah, Jones didn't do much. He came on towards the end. I mean, he was trying to recycle the play, but a bit average overall. There was nothing amazing that he did that could move him like into a B. There was nothing terrible that he did that could move him into a D. So I think C is fair. See, like Gakpo, I'm torn between like D and C. Like based on that performance alone, I'd probably put him in D because he didn't do anything. He didn't like he was trying to keep the width out left, but he didn't do anything. He didn't kind of look menacing. He didn't look threatening. But I'm only going to put him in C because I don't think he's fully fit. I think he's being rushed back. So he was rushed back for the PSG game, sorry. And he's playing again today because I think if Gakpo is fit, then he starts because Gakpo is clearly the first choice left winger. So I think given the fact that he's not fully fit, I feel a bit bad kind of putting him in D. Tom is saying, would you prefer to see Alvarez or Isak? I know Isak is world class, but do you think Alvarez will be better with our play style? Interesting point. I agree with what you're saying. So let's perhaps take each one in turn. So Isak, world class. You could definitely make the argument that he's one of the top 3, perhaps even top 2 strikers in the world. Very good finisher, scoring a lot of goals. Premier League proven as well. I think you could say that, Premier League proven as well. Where Isak perhaps kind of falls down is naturally there's probably some concerns about his fitness, about his injury record. So that's probably the downside. And I think another side where Isak will perhaps fall down a bit is with the transfer fee. So I don't think Newcastle are going to take 100 million. It's going to cost more than 100 million, I think, to get Isak. And if Newcastle qualify for the Champions League, it might even be like 150. So there are benefits and downsides to Isak. Alvarez, on the other hand, I do agree with you. I think his playing style does suit this team a bit more. Apparently, we were in for him last year when he was leaving Man City, but we didn't quite kind of get it over the line. But Alvarez has scored about 20 goals in La Liga. He's got good experience in the Premier League as well. I'd be happy with either of them, to be honest. I know that's a bit of a kind of sitting on the fence answer. I'd be happy with either of them. I think it comes down to the transfer fee. Because Alvarez went for about 80 million last year, which means that if he went for 80 million a year ago, they're going to ask for more than that now, I think, unless he's got a release clause. So I would say, even though Alvarez suits our playing style better, I would go for Isak if the fees were about the same. Like if Alvarez was like 40 million cheaper, then yeah, Alvarez. But I think if the fees were quite similar, I'd definitely go for Isak because I think he's one of the best strikers in the world. And moreover, if we get Isak, would be weakening a direct rival. I think Newcastle are a direct rival, considering how much they're investing, considering they beat us to a trophy today. So I think even if we give Newcastle 120 million for Isak, they're very unlikely even with that 120 million to be able to replace him, if you know what I mean. So we'd be taking like 30 goals out of Newcastle. So from perhaps from a slightly selfish perspective there, I'd rather weaken Newcastle than Atletico. But yeah, I'd be happy with either overall. Elliot, I'd put in B. Guy was at least trying to make things happen. He got the assist for the Chiesa goal. He was always kind of passing forward. He always had his eye on kind of trying to play through balls. He played some good balls over the top. And I think his pass to Chiesa was pretty much perfect, if I'm honest. I didn't see... That was what we were kind of missing in the first half, if I'm honest. Just somebody to kind of directly kind of play it forward. McAllister was playing it sideways. Szoboszlai was playing it sideways. Gravenberch was playing it sideways. So Elliot at least tried to kind of make things happen, and he got the assist. So I'd give him a B for that. I think that's everything, you know. I think that's everyone. I feel like I'm missing somebody. So I'm gonna have a quick look. Jones, Gakpo, Chiesa, Elliot, Nunes. Yeah, no, I've covered everyone. Yeah, I've covered everyone. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Chiesa A, Kwanzaa B, Elliot B. C would be Kelleher, Konate, Virgil, Robertson, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jones, Gakpo. Gakpo's only a C because I don't think he's fully fit, and it's unfair to put him in a D. D would be kind of Gravenberch, McAllister. But if there was an E, I'd probably put Diaz in E, and if there was an F, I'd probably put Jota and Nunes in F. So that's probably what I'd do. But yeah, I think for next time I'm gonna try and find a better one of these that has numbers instead, because that's a bit better than just having these little letters. If this guy had played, maybe he'd be over there, but he didn't play, so we just got to live with it. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to try to do this a bit better next time, because I'm just on one screen and I'm having to kind of switch screens. This is probably what you're seeing as you know, when it goes black, that's me kind of switching screens. But yeah, I'll try to do this better next time, and yeah, hopefully we have a better result the next time. But yeah, cool. All right, that's about it. Next game in 2 weeks. I'll try and do something else before then. There's no Liverpool games, but I'll try and if there's any other kind of interesting games, I'll try to do those. But yeah, I'm gonna go do some cooking now because I'm starving. All right.